Welcome back to page 121. Today we're going to take a look at the third in the referee's briefings, Going Portside. This is actually the one I was really excited about reading. This shows things you could see in various starports or even downports or parts of planets in your Traveler game. It's chock full of ideas of ways to kind of beef up the starport experience. I was pretty excited about reading this one and it didn't disappoint. It's by Martin J. Doherty. So we're going to take a look at this today in some detail. I'm also going to mention Jump Point. There she is. The Jump Point logo. Jump Point, what is that? Well, that's our Traveler convention that's going to be happening on November 6th at Games Plus in Mount Prospect. It's going to be going from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. That's on a Sunday. Come on in. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be Traveler. Right now I have 2 Traveler games that are going to happen. One GM'd by myself and the other by my son Adam. These will be games that I will have written. So they're going to be original to Jump Point. And I think they'll be fun. I think there's going to be a lot of action, so a lot of role playing. They're designed to kind of be quick moving. So the Jump Point is basically just a convention, but it's in a game store, so there's no vendors as such. However, Games Plus is a very complete game store. I recommend you bring money, not for joining us. All the events at our table are free, or at our event are free, but the store itself is outstanding. You're going to want some spending cash to enjoy what they have. The other thing we're going to be doing at it beyond the games is we're going to be doing dying and character creation. This is going to be classic Traveler rules. It'll be run by me, and if there's enough demand, by my son Adam. And we're going to roll your characters to death. It's kind of a rite of passage for old Traveler players. My very first experience with Traveler was rolling a character and having a dying character creation. That was back in '81. I thought it was hysterical, and it hooked me on Traveler. So we're going to have some fun with that, and there might be a couple other things too. I'm going to be doing a little giveaway of some of my Access Traveler stuff I have doubles of. I'm surprised how much I have. I've only gone through part of my collection, and I've got a stack about 5 or 6 inches high right now. I'm not giving it all away at this one event, but I am going to give some of it away, select pieces. I haven't decided how that'll be, if it'll be a drawing, or I haven't decided yet. That may be a game day decision. So come join us for Jump Point. It's free. You're in an excellent game store. There's food, vending machines for food, pop. We can take a break for meals. There's plenty of places within walking distance to get something to eat. It's going to be a fun event, and I hope to see people there. Right now I have 5 people who've committed to coming through the Facebook page. I'll have a link below for that. And I'm going to be bringing 5 of us from our gaming group. So not only is it a chance to come and play some Traveler, but you get to meet all of us. Craig, Roy, Adam, and Patrick will all be there, as well as myself. So it's going to be kind of interesting to interact with you guys. I'm looking forward to it. So November 6th, it's a Sunday, from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. But back to today's topic. Whoops. I hate when it does that. Referee Supplement 3, Going Portside. Referee's Briefing 3, Going Portside. This is published in 2016 by Mongoose for Traveler 2nd, written by Martin J. Doherty. Martin J. Doherty writes a good supplement. So the whole point of this is, what do you see when you get off your starship and you're in the starport or you're going to the downport? What is it you encounter? And that's what this book tries to bring out. Now, it's only 17 pages long. It goes for about $6 on the Mongoose site or through DriveThruRPG. I'll put a link to both below. And that seems a little pricey, but I'm not bothered by that. $6 for a book that takes, close to an hour to read, not quite. It's 17 pages of writing. I'm okay with that. Back in the day, I spent as much or even more on various paperbacks or comic books or graphic novels. And most times, or not most times, but a lot of times, I didn't even like what I got. This, I'm pretty sure, with Martin Doherty writing, I'm pretty sure I'm going to like what I read. So here we go. This is published, as I said, in 2016. So we get the introduction. What is this book about? It's about, you've gotten off your starship. You've been on it for a weekend jump and maybe a day or two maneuvering into the starport, depending where the starport is. And you're in the high port, and you're getting off the ship for the first time. You're excited about not looking at your fellow crew members' faces for a little while and seeing other things. What do you see? Well, here you go. Portside features. What would the port have to offer you to basically part you from your credits? Well, some is transport. How do you get from the high port down to the surface of the planet? Well, you pay for transport. I've done some of that with the campaigns I've run. I've done a lot in starports and downports because to me that's some of the most exciting aspects of Traveler. I've really always enjoyed featuring those things, and I was excited to get this book because of that. So you can get a transport down to the planet, or if you're in the downport already, there are different ways you can move about the planet. I'm going to go into that in just a moment. You can have your luggage carried by a handy-dandy carry bot. We got a neat little carry bot here. Nothing real special about this little guy. I just kind of like the idea of him kind of zipping around the starport carrying luggage. Advertising and marketing. You are absolutely blasted with it the minute you're off your ship. There's advertising everywhere in the starport, and you're going to be hit by it. And it takes a nice look at it here. And now we talk about the Star Town. What is a Star Town? I'm going to do a video on Star Towns. I'm going to do one on the up port and the Star Town, the down port. The up port, the down port, and the Star Town. They are actually three separate things in most cases. And I'm going to do a video on all three coming soon. I'm doing some of my research. One of the old GURPS books is great for the stations. And there's Mongoose First had a really good one on space stations as well. So I'm going to be reading that, and so that's in the works. I'm still got a lot of reading to do before I'm ready to do that. But it talks a little bit about the Star Town. The Star Town is the local town that has sprung up around the downport, and it talks about you step out of the downport and you're actually under the jurisdiction of the Star Town, which in most cases is the jurisdiction of the local planet. So you better be aware of the local laws. And then you get a neat little term here that I really enjoyed in this book called the fade down. The fade down is new to me in this book. I don't know if it's come from any other source. This is the first time I ever saw it. And basically it's the sociological change from the high port, the down port, the Star Town, and now you're moving deeper and deeper into the planet and you're seeing more and more of the local culture take over. So you're getting a fade down from the culture you're used to down to the local culture. And I'm sure this might even be like a tourist term or something that I'm just not familiar with. But the fade down is an interesting term I liked. Hotels, bars, and restaurants. Let's face it, a lot of Traveler games start out in some kind of bar or hotel. Why not? Because they're convenient meeting places. They're public. It's a place you can discuss things without drawing attention to yourself or having people easily eavesdrop. So why not? And here we look at a chain of hotels, Advantage hotels. These are slightly better than average hotels that are there for you pretty much everywhere. And when you get a room at their hotel, you pretty much know what to expect. So like a chain of hotels, a Motel 6 or Holiday Inn, that kind of thing. We get Astro Burgers, which it's funny that burgers survive this far into the future. Its chain started as a joke by some brothers with some cash to burn. And they just wanted to put out a completely average, who cared kind of fast food place, and it took off and made them billions. Now we look at Brewhouse Tavern. I like this one because it's actually a microbrewery, and it features their home brews and things like that. Ostensibly, everything on the menu is grown locally. It's not actually, but that's kind of what they pretend it is. And it was a neat little idea. I can see building on that one. Generic. The generic chain of bars and steakhouses actually is generic. That's what they want. Every time you go into one of their facilities, no matter where you are in the galaxy, it's all going to be the same. That's why it's generic. The landing deck. Typical spacer bar. It's designed to attract spacers. This is what we want. That's their clientele. Planetfall Bar and Grill. Again, a very common one in starports and downports, and very attractive to spacers. They want to draw in the spacer crowd. Then we get the Starball Hotel. This is an upscale hotel that is only in the high ports of various places. That's why they're the Starball. And they feature, among other things, exotic views, as well as upscale amenities that you would want in a hotel. It costs a little more, but it's totally worth it. This guy I liked, the Starfarers Hospitable Institution, called the Institution or SI. Basically, if you are a traveler down on your luck and need a place to stay, they'll help you out with an idea that you will pay them back at a future date, and or help out around the place and kind of help pay your own keep. This is not a place you can just go and flop indefinitely, but it's kind of a halfway house. I thought this was a cool idea. It also works as a clearinghouse. You can find work through the institute or the institution, and that's a good hub for you to find out about jobs in the area. And then we get the Torpedo Bay, and again, naval personnel would favor this place, and they feature drinks with the names such as torpedo juice and things like that. Different dares, can you finish this drink in so much time, that kind of thing. Retailers, merchants, and servant providers. Clever Cyan. The equivalent, many starports have the equivalent of Clever Cyan, a semi-mythical creature said to be a member of an otherwise unknown or unidentifiable alien race. They know everyone and everything. Basically, these are information brokers. Clever Cyan specialize in gathering information and intel and then dispersing it, whether legal or not. Interstellar Ordnance. For that weapon that just has to work, go to IO. They'll take care of you. IO is a pretty reliable weapon provider in the Imperium. Kinsley Merchant Factors. If you are looking for work as a merchant skipper, you could do worse than find yourself working for Kinsley Merchant Factors. You get a good percentage. You get the safety of working for the group. An interesting little factor. Little Sariv's Interstellar Trading Emporium. This one's neat. This is literally just a battered old ship that makes call at port, throws its doors open, and sells you anything that you might want. From teddy bears to nasty weapons. They could be on the same shelf together. Great gifts for mom, it says right there. And of course, information brokering is part of this as well. This is an interesting one that is going to find its way into my campaign at some point. I like that one. Planetside Transport, for when you have to get around. Planetside Transport will rent you a car. They can provide a livery service, driver service, or they can just instruct you on local customs and laws so you don't run afoul of that. So if you need a little bit more information than the download provided when you came into port, you can go to Planetside Transport. Unified Security and Escort Services. This is a security bodyguard company, and they'll protect you whether you like it or not. They're very insistent that you follow their rules. If you choose to not follow their rules, they're not above walking away from you at any point during their contract with you, and you will not get a refund. They insist that you abide by the rules for the safety of yourself and for their employees. Varelli Training Services. This was pretty neat. I'm reading through this, and I kind of got the idea. It's kind of an incomplete training house. You can buy various videos, and they'll show you how to do this or how to do that, but they're of varying quality. And sometimes you have to watch multiple videos in the same vein, because maybe the guy who made the first video didn't really know what he was talking about, but now this guy does. It reminded me very much of YouTube of the future, where somebody who knows a little bit about something, like say, I don't know, Traveler, can just get in front of a camera and tell you stuff. I thought that was kind of a neat commentary right there. Then we get to recreational facilities and places to visit. So what do you want to do when you're there? You're on Liberty, you're going to be in the port for a couple of weeks while the ship undergoes maintenance. What do? Well, you go to the Avuna Ice Fields. The Avuna Ice Fields is just a big ice field. It's got some breathtaking views. Can be somewhat dangerous, so it's a bit of a thrill seeker kind of thing. Or if you're bored with that and you want to test yourself, you can go to the Fighting Chance. It's basically a brawl pit. Different types of interpersonal combat can be featured there. You can bet on the fighters, or you can join in. The Forest of Mayokai. The forests are just beautiful natural forests. Glen Rioche. I kind of like this one. Glen Rioche is a golf course inside an asteroid. And golf purists hate this place because you can vary the gravity to change some of the limits of the game. You can lighten the gravity and your drive goes 800 yards, or you can make the gravity much heavier and you can barely get the ball off the tee. I thought this was an intriguing idea. The Jarmain Memorial, point to point. It's a race, but you race from point to point, and there are many categories. So if you only have a solar sail and you're going to just be sailing using that, and you're going to be staying in system, there are point-to-point races for that. And then, of course, there's betting to be had on that as well. And then there's the Museum of Creation, and this is devoted not only to the creation of the universe and everything. It's not a religious museum so much as it is talking about actual creation. And there are sections in here that talk about the birth of artificial intelligence, art, sciences, writing. All can be featured in the Museum of Creation. The Wings of Winella. It's a massive gas giant with beautiful rings. And the Rings of Winnelia, Rings of Winnelia is the proper word pronunciation. You can go out in a sublight, or not sublight, but an intersystem transport and maybe tour around the rings for a couple of days aboard while you play at their casino and enjoy their amenities. And then the Ruins of Evcli, basically just ruins of an old civilization, parts of which you can tour, not unlike the various Maya settlements that can be toured down in Mexico and in that area, and then, of course, the Inca and Aztec. And now we're out of the book. Total of 18 pages, but 17 pages of writing, and, of course, the first 2 pages are given to the credits and such. So you're saying, well, wait a minute, this is $6. Yeah, but you know what? I've already read this thing twice, and I've already found at least 2 things I'm going to pull out of it and use in my game. This is a nice, fun read that I had on my lap while I watch TV. That's what I enjoy about these referees' briefings. These are just fun because you can just read through them. You're going to pick up little ideas. You're going to get some plot points and things like that. I've enjoyed this series immensely, and there are 3 more for me to read. I'm excited about reading them. Numbers 4 and 5 are also $6. Number 6 is $7. So for the entire set, it's going to end up being something like $37. I'm going to read these a lot. I've enjoyed them. They are a little pricey, but I don't care. I will be enjoying them. So I hope you found this video kind of entertaining. If nothing else, maybe you don't need to buy this thing now. Maybe you saw what you wanted to see. I don't know. I hope that you'll take a look at it because I think it's definitely worth looking at. By the way, I don't work for Mongoose. I don't know the folks at Mongoose. I just continue to be impressed by the product they're putting out. Like I said, this one goes back to 2016. So that's it for today on page 121. Please like and subscribe. The channel's still growing. I really appreciate all the support I've gotten through subscriptions and through patrons. Let's keep it going. Let's keep things growing. I've really enjoyed doing these videos, and I'm at something like, as of the making of this one, somewhere at 340 videos, something like that. And the second anniversary of my channel is coming up at the end of the year. So I've been pretty prolific in my output. Here's to hoping I can maintain that as time goes on. So that's it for today from page 121. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.